Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoy these videos, please click like and subscribe. I'm glad you stopped by today. We're going to talk about Rebecca Coriam. This 24-year-old disappeared on March 22nd, 2011, allegedly sometime between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. on a cruise ship for Disney. She was an employee. This is going to be a case that will be is unsolved to this day. So the ship's captain reported to her parents back home in Chester that she must have been swept overboard by a freak wave. Right, a freak wave that would have had to been 100 feet tall if she was on deck 5 at the top of the ship. There was conveniently a sandal planted there, which had another cabin person's name on it, and her parents claimed it wasn't her size. Interesting. Her body has never been found. So, since 2000, 313 people have fallen overboard. Some have never been seen again. Cruise ships are not required to report missing persons or crimes across all jurisdictions. So this is also disturbing. According to her father, Disney did not turn the ship around to look for her, which isn't a protocol. They're not following their protocol. On top of that, the Navy and Coast Guard were given incorrect coordinates as to where she disappeared. Sounds like somebody didn't want her found, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. The jurisdiction was in the Royal Bahamas, and 3 days later, Disney called them and they assigned one detective. He interviewed 6 of the 950 employees and none of the passengers. So the parents hired a private investigator who discovered no stormy weather was anywhere around when this would have happened. So a rogue 100-foot high wave would have been nearly impossible. They also discovered that the timestamp on the last footage of her, which clearly shows her distraught and wearing men's clothing, had been cropped so that the time and location were not identifiable and not correct. They actually later determined that she was on deck 1. She disappeared somewhere here. They were on port from Los Angeles to Puerto Vallarta. So this woman, who was allegedly a girlfriend / possible lover, was Tracy Medley, who came forward and admitted that they were engaged in a threesome with Devin Hyde, Rebecca, and Tracy, and that she was distraught over this and that she likely committed suicide. Interesting. One of her best friends was never spoken to by any security or police and said to call this an investigation is an insult. A pair of shorts were recovered among her personal items that were torn, which could have indicated a struggle. This is where we're going to turn to the tarot cards to see if we can gain insights into what happened to this lovely, beautiful young woman. Now, I have to tell you something strange that happened while I was gathering a few facts about this case. I ordered this deck based on the reviews. It said that it had gotten very good reviews. I normally am not drawn to like vampire things. However, I did order this and it remained in the box on my shelf. And as I was researching this case, I noticed I kept staring at this deck. And I was like, why am I staring at this? And I thought, there's a reason for it. I'm going to bring it out. It's not been used. I'm not familiar with it. And so we're going to start out using the tarot of the vampires. And we're going to ask this deck, what happened to Rebecca Coriam? And we're going to start pulling cards. Now, of course, I have my regular go-to deck that I also will go to in this case. Tarot of the Vampires. I'd like you to tell the story of exactly what happened to Rebecca Coriam in full details, if the art allows. Because when you're doing readings like this, the decks you choose are everything. Because if you're going by the artwork to tell the story, then the artwork has to reflect what happened. If you have a deck that's very vague and doesn't have the detailed artwork, it will be very difficult to do a reading on that. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? What happened to Rebecca Coriam? I'm going to shuffle a little bit because I don't even know if I've shuffled these. Okay, so here we go. Card number 1. Ooh, what is this? Death. Okay. Well, we kind of figured that she was dead because she fell overboard. So that's interesting that the first card comes right to her death. I guess the cards are indicating death. Okay. I don't know if they want to start there, if the cards are starting there. The Hierophant. So there's someone nude bowing down over a dark person. Now I kind of have to ignore like all the skulls and stuff because this is a vampire deck. So I kind of have to like realize that this is a very specialized deck, and so I will. But she's almost bowing down like a servant. Eight of Scepters. Well, this is violent. Huh. So this, according to this, somebody wanted her dead. Well, this is violence. Violence and dead. But remember, this is the vampire deck. We're going to get out another one just in case you're like, Melanie, this is violent. It's going to be violent through the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe. But if it is, it's then kind of what I call a skewed deck. And so, I will also use another deck. But we'll just pull a few more cards on this to see what the story is being told through this deck to see its accuracy. So here's 2 of Skulls, and this is Lovers. Wow. Now this deck portrays 2 women. This is allegedly who the girlfriend was. She had a girlfriend. That's interesting. This particular deck has 2 women together. Not very many decks have that. So I think this must be the reason that I had to choose this deck. How interesting is that? Because the artwork there was important. So now we've got the 8 of Skulls and the 8 of Scepters. And she's tossing the skull. She's like picking up the skull and tossing it. That's very interesting. Get a lot of women. Is there all women in this deck? The Queen of Grails. Okay. 2 women together, a woman tossing a skull, Queen of Grails. This is really looking like a woman here. Oh, it's really looking like a woman. We'll pull a few more cards from this and see where it takes us. The 10 of Grails. What do we have on here? Yeah, that doesn't look very good. I don't know if grails is, you know, swords. I'm not sure what the grails are. And then fortune. So this is all about money and a wheel. All right, we're going to switch to another deck. But this deck is indicating to us that's death, woman tossing a skull, the scepter, there's violence. So this is indicating that there's, you know, that definitely it's suspicious. So I'm gonna go to my regular deck, the universal weight, okay? The universal weight. Tell us the story of exactly what happened to Rebecca Coriam. Exactly what happened to her. Here we go, card number 1. Here's the water. So this is the star. This young woman had all these hopes and dreams, and evidently she had a love of the water, like a love of the water, love of the, you know, she had all of her hopes and dreams. That's the card about your hopes and dreams. Oh my. Here she is really living out a life that she enjoyed. It looks like she enjoyed the cruise ship being on the water, and then here comes violence toward her. All right. This is like repeating the story of the other card. Remember the 8 of Scepters? He was looking violent. Well, same thing here. Somebody wanted to get her. Somebody wanted to get her. Interesting how different decks can tell the story. There we go. A lover. A lover. This can be somebody angry about love. Angry about love. 2 of Scepter, or the two of Cups. Here's laid to rest. Laid to rest. You know, this always reminds me of somebody that's, you know, on a coffin with their head on a little pillow. You know, this always reminds me of that. But this is almost like rest in peace, you know, but it not when it's with this, not when it's got here in the background. Somebody didn't want something exposed. All right. They wanted to close their hand, close the hand. They wanted to silence, right? That's the card of like silence. This can be the manipulator. Manipulating. They had all the information. I wonder if this was Disney, who has some very strange laws or rules that in fact that they don't report all of these incidences and they led people astray. I wonder if this means they had the video footage, it was cropped, they had all the tools and chose not, you know, they chose to manipulate the facts around this. This is always my kind of like a foreign country from another world. Like this happened in, you know, in another jurisdiction or whatever. Here we've got the ocean from the background. Here we've got somebody standing up high on the balcony. And this is the card about waiting. You know, he doesn't know everything, right? This is behind him, doesn't know everything. So, and this is about something to do with the foreign land, Oh, I have to tell you that she is from America and he is from Honduras. I don't know what, you know, why that matters. But okay. So, and this is just for entertainment purposes only. We're just doing a reading here to find out what happened to her. So she was working for a large organization, right? Disney. So here she is as a large organization. And they've got their hands up, hold up, and here's a couple of 2 people. So I feel like there's 2 suspects, and that's what, here's her last photo. This is 1 suspect, this is a 2nd suspect. However, we're gonna actually ask some additional questions in here, and I can't say that they're suspects, but they were, you know, definitely interviewed. So here's a woman. Focus on a woman. Now in the other cards, there was a lot of women, and this is focus on the woman. And there was a feeling like here's trapped. This is so strange because it's almost like stepping into the water and then just continuing down the path because because Disney needs their crown. They need their leadership. There's a crown here. There's a crown here. He's wearing a crown. Like Disney wants to keep their reputation, so people that slip into the water, they kind of cover that up. It's kind of interesting that they're allowed to do that. And there she is with distraught over this threesome, over the three of them. So this is her last photo where she was distraught wearing men's clothing. You can see the devastation on her face. And this would portray that, the Three of Swords. This is the Empress card, and this is an interesting card to come in here because it's just really telling us it falls on top of the Queen. There's a feminine energy here. I think we'll pay attention to her. We'll ask some cards about her because we're getting to look at the feminine, but we're going to look into and this is the young person, anger. So we're going to ask some very specific questions now. All right. And I'm going to use the Haunted House Tarot. And I'm going to ask just point blank, did Tracy Medley have anything to do with the passing away of Rebecca Coriam? Did Tracy Medley have anything to do with it? Oh my God. There's the Tower, and that's overboard. Tossing out. Oh my God, look at the way she's got her hands. Look at the way she's got her hands. And then look at the last photo. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is very similar. She got tossed overboard. Oh my God, I can't believe that cards are portraying that. Wow. Yes, this was violent. They found ripped shorts among her possessions, indicating violence, and this would indicate violence. Definitely wanting her passed away. And keep on going. And then walk away as if nothing happened. You just walk away, it's nighttime, just walk away like nothing's happened. There's one crew member missing, oh well, just walk away. I also want to pull cards on Devon, and I want to ask the same thing. Did Devon Hyde have anything to do with the disappearance and death of Rebecca Coriam? Did Devon Hyde have anything to do with the disappearance? Two of them. The two of them. Two people. I don't know if it's them. Let's just say allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, two people were responsible for her death. It would probably take two people, unless she was drugged, to get her overboard. If the rails were 6 feet tall, 6 feet high, it would. This is definitely telling us two people. Two people were responsible. So I'm not going to say for sure if it was Devon and her, but these were the last people that she was with. Now, I do want to say something. One of the employees said that they video everything on that ship. So Disney knows what happened because they have videos of everything. They have cameras everywhere. And they record all the conversations. And she was using a phone on the ship before she passed away. Disney knows what that phone call was about, okay? And they know. Disney knows. So I'm going to ask the cards. Does Disney know that what happened? Does Disney know what happened to Rebecca? 5 of Cups. This is the, oh, folks, in case you don't know, the regular Five of Cups is he's in a cloak, which is hidden information. And it's also looking at a disaster and then turning around and just, seeing these two cups that aren't tipped over. I mean, it is, in the regular tarot, this is an interesting card because here's these cards together. So here is this woman with a drink. So they've got a different artwork, but this is the regular Five of Cups, a cloak. Something's hidden under that cloak. And see, they're looking at, the facts of what happened and then turning around, making it, if he turns around, makes it all nice and sunny. Oh, well, something happened. Oh, well, and it's hidden. This is a hidden card. So I'm going to say that, that Disney is aware of it. Look at that, a carousel horse that reminds you of Disneyland. Look at the carousel horses. I mean, if that doesn't represent Disney, what does? Three of Wands, there again, that's my foreign land card. And there's a woman. There's definitely all these are women. This is really an overwhelmingly reading about the women. So I'm going to pull the Anna Kay card and I'm going to ask, is this, actually I'm going to, let me see what Anna Kay has to say about this death of Rebecca Coriam. You've got to be kidding. There's 3 people involved. Wow. Is this case going to be solved at some point in the future? Is this case going to be solved at some point in the future? Wow, they're really blocking it from getting solved. Here we've got a large, why did that card fly out? Okay, I'll look at that. I don't know why that flew out. This is the big body of water and then blocking information, because swords are air. That's information, the air signs, information over the phone, the internet, whatever. Blocking information so that the case won't be solved. So this is kind of like my defying, like this is my miracle card. Like you can't pour water like this. Like this is take a miracle. It would take a miracle almost to solve this, to get this information out and get it. Oh, look at this. Yeah, cover-ups. This is definitely cover-ups. 5 of Swords. They don't want anything released. They don't want anything that would have a negative impact on their business released. They will do everything they can to block it. What are you wanting to say? Oh! Wow. They don't want anyone to go to jail. This is like he's in jail. Like that's almost like being trapped in jail. Well, that's certainly interesting, isn't it? They don't want any of their employees, to go to jail. They protect people even evidently through crimes. Sometimes, there we go with another woman. Wow, the Queen of Wands. Sometimes I want to know the profile of the killer. Let's just say that, actually, before we do that, remember Tracy Medley said she committed suicide. Let's ask that. I mean, we know by now that there's violence toward her with ripped shorts. Probably you're not going to commit suicide if you've left ripped shorts behind. But just to ask, was Rebecca Coriam so distraught that she jumped overboard and killed herself? Oh, wow. We actually have people at sea. I mean, look at this is the ocean and 3 people again. Folks, you're getting the message of 3 people. 3 people really strongly. There's 3 people involved. This is the Judgment card. This is the King. So that's a man. This is not wanting to deal with a situation. This is another, I always call this like the young merchant, but it could be a sailor. It could be, a young person. Okay. This tells us that although she didn't want to face this situation, overall she had a strong mind. Overall she had a strong mind. You know what? I hate to say this, but I feel like she's coming through, and I have my deck here to communicate with her, with deceased people. Rebecca, Coriam, if we could please talk to you. Could we please talk to you from the other side? I never even thought about communicating with her, but I communicate with the deceased with this. Rebecca Coriam, please come through. Please, please, please. I really want to talk to you from the other side. Do you know what happened to you? Rebecca, if you clear these, do you know what happened to you, Rebecca? Do you know what happened to you? Sometimes if they're drugged or whatever, they don't know what happened to them. Oh man, so this almost indicates she's holding up two people. Oh my God, there's a sword on each side. There's a sword in each hand. Blindfolded, like I don't know if that means she didn't know, but this is at night, so this was at night. Okay, Rebecca, keep going, keep telling us, please give us any details. Oh, she was wounded. See the wounded paw? She was wounded. You were wounded, Rebecca? You were wounded? The paw's wounded. Now she's in the spirit world. Who wounded you, Rebecca? Who wounded you? Oh, God, we have a woman. Oh, my God. Usually the Knight of Cups is, in other decks, it's always male. Here we have a woman. Oh, my God, look at her face. Look at this face. Who murdered you, Rebecca? I don't want to say anything, but look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Come on, camera, focus. Look at that eye. And look at the eye. Huh. Oh my gosh. Who murdered you? And she shows a woman. I wonder if this woman has a drinking problem. Like if she's got a definite drinking problem. And I wonder, because she's got a cane, I wonder if she's got, like, if she injured her leg, or if somehow she got injured during the process, if she, allegedly, if she did this, if she got an injury, like if she injured and was limping for a while. I mean, like, did she injure herself? Rebecca, keep going, please, if you can. I'm very sorry to make you relive this, but I know that your parents would want closure. Oh my God, yes, Melanie, I'm speaking through the grave. My hand is like coming out of the ground, and my hand is like, keep going, Melanie. She's like, Melanie, I need my story told. Okay, Rebecca, tell your story. This is your chance. Tell your story, Rebecca. Oh, she sends a lot of love to her family back home and her father. So she wants to stop and say, to send love to her family and her father. And that she's telling me she was intelligent. There's books here. Like she was an intelligent woman. She wasn't, this is what she wants brought across. She was just in a confusing part of her life. So she wants to tell you, you guys, I was confused. I don't know if she's trying, if it's because of her sexuality. I'm not judging you, Rebecca. No one judges you. You're a beautiful young woman. Who you choose to love is none of our business. But she was confused. She was going through a confused state in her life. And what are you saying? Oh, it's upside down. They emptied out her space. So they emptied out her space. So this is the King of Wands. So this could have been somebody high up. This guy is dressed in a top hat. This could represent somebody high up in Disney. Emptied out her space. And they stayed on course. See, this kind of is like a steering wheel of a ship. They stayed on course. The captain directed to stay on course. Okay, Rebecca. We kind of know that because they didn't turn around. We understand that. Seven of Swords, sneaky behavior, cover up, deception, getting away with it, getting away with it. Somebody sneaking away with the evidence and getting away with it. Oh my God, Rebecca. I am so sorry that you had to go through this. And she's like, here we go with the Two of Wands again. Somebody overseeing over the, oh God, like over the ship and another part of the world over the ship. Over the edge. This reminds me of the 6 foot high, and there was a place where she could have been tossed over. So there was an opportunity to over the edge. See, she's showing us the edge of the ship, the ledge, or whatever you call that. That allegedly 100-foot wave, came there. Oh man, here's the 3 people. They were fighting. They were fighting, and she felt threatened. Like she felt threatened by these other 2 people. I can understand that because the cards have really, Rebecca, the cards have been saying 3 people, 3 people, 3 people. I mean, all the way through this. So they're confirming what you're saying. There's the ledge. There's the deck. Oh my gosh. So here's the ledge again. Are there 3 people up there? No, but there's 2 people. 2 people watching one fall off. 2 people watching, 1 down below. Gotcha. It would have taken 2 people to probably do that. Now she's a shining star. She's up with the, oh, you're beautiful. She's a beautiful shining star. Well, okay. So Ace of Swords, Ace of Swords kind of tells me that she wanted to speak her truth. And this is what she is happy for, is to speak her truth. She wanted to speak her truth, and she is happy. This is, she is 9 of Cups. She's in a happy space right now. She's in, does this say spirit? Best spirits is what I'm getting from this card. Best ales, wines, spirits. But it's like she's happy now. She's in a happy place. She's in the spirit world. And Rebecca, are you needing closure on this? Because it feels like you're telling us, that you just wanted to speak your truth, the Chariot. She knows what happened to her on that night. She knows what happened to her on that horrible night. But that's not necessarily I need to have anything, solved if there's no way it can be. She said, oh, so who did it is now having guilt for the rest of their life. Look at that eye. Look at that eye and the facial expression. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not trying to do this, but, They feel guilt, and they'll feel guilt the rest of their life. I'm almost feeling like she's telling us that this person or these people, this could represent 2 people also, will have guilt the rest of their life. I want to profile the person that allegedly was responsible for this. What would possess somebody to throw somebody over a ship? Like, what would that be about? Artificial heart. Oh my God, artificial heart. So she wasn't really in love? Artificial heart means not capable of loving? Maybe she wasn't even capable of loving. An artificial heart means that that's not real love. And that's somebody who's very empty inside. Very empty inside. Okay. Wow. Rebecca, thank you for coming through, and thank you for telling your story. And I really appreciate, that you came through in this reading. So I want to also thank all of you for listening. This is for entertainment purposes only. And it's very sad that these cruise ships are allowed not to report this and that Disney covered this up. Shame on them. Shame on them. If they covered this up and didn't turn the boat around to look for this young woman, shame on them. I will never step foot on a Disney cruise ship ever because of this. Thank you.